Book 1, Chapter 2 of the Imitation of Christ. Of humility in respect to one's own knowledge. All men naturally desire knowledge, but what profit is there in knowledge without the fear of God? Certainly, a lowly peasant who serves God is better than a proud philosopher who, to the neglect of his own soul, studies the course of the heavens. He who knows himself well becomes vile in his own sight and can take no delight in the praises of men. If I knew all the things in the world and were not in charity, what would it avail before God, who will judge me by my actions? 2. Quiet that excessive desire for knowledge, because it brings with it much distraction and delusion. Learned men are apt to wish to make a display of their learning, and to be spoken of as talented. There are many things, the knowledge of which is of little or no use to the soul, and he is extremely foolish who turns his attention to such things, rather than to those which would be conducive to his salvation. Many words do not satisfy the soul, but a good life calms the mind, and a pure conscience gives great confidence towards God. 3. The more you know and understand, the heavier will be your judgment, unless, in consequence of your greater knowledge, your life is a more holy one. Wish not, then, to be extolled on account of your ability or learning, but rather regard the knowledge which is entrusted to you a ground for apprehension. If you fancy that you know many things, and fairly understand them, remember that the things you do not know are many more than those you do know. Be not high-minded, but rather acknowledge your ignorance. Why do you want to put yourself before others, seeing there are many more learned than yourself, and more versed in the law of God? If you would know and learn anything profitably, love to be unknown, and to be regarded as of no account. 4. A true view of oneself, and consequently a low opinion of oneself, is the best and most valuable lesson to be acquired. To think nothing of oneself, and always to think well and highly of others, is great wisdom and perfection. If you were to see anyone openly sin, or in the act of committing some crime, you ought not, therefore, to think the better of yourself. We are all liable to fall, yet you should be convinced that there is no one more liable to do so than yourself.